Oh, that's what it is. That's what the jersey is. Right. So it wasn't a depiction of the plane titting. Hello guys, it's 899 here and welcome to today's video. And today we'll be going through our tips and predictions for NRL Las Vegas, round 0, whatever you want to call it, of the initial starting matches of the 2026 NRL season. So without further ado, let's just jump into it. Starting this off with the opening game of the 2026 NRL season, we have the Newcastle Knights taking on the North Queensland Cowboys. We're really opening the season. Vegas, you're welcome. So, what can be said about both teams? The Newcastle Knights, coming into this formerly from last season, finished last place and have come into this new season with a couple of new players, main one being Dylan Brown. Haven't really found their footing as of just yet after losing both matches in the trials with a close loss to the Dragons to them being held to 0 by the Bulldogs. We haven't scored a point on the Bulldogs since May 2024. So there you go. And the North Queensland Cowboys ran into a bit of inconsistency last year, which had them still finishing outside of the bottom 4 in at 12th place. So a very interesting season is upon both teams nonetheless. It's going to be interesting to see, more so because as a Knights fan trying to figure out what the halves pairing is going to be. It is basically all but pointing to it's going to be Dylan Brown at 6 and Sandon Smith at 7, which I don't think that's the right one personally. Like if I had control of the team, I think it should be Sharp at 6 and Brown at 7. That's just my take, and you could have Sandon as a impact 14, but it looks like Fletcher Sharp is going to be the 14. Yeah, the Cowboys are going to look quite interesting this year. Essentially, most fan bases probably have either team not really going that well. Maybe the Cowboys getting up in a little bit. Maybe the Knights being away from the wooden spoon. I haven't really seen anyone put the Knights last, maybe like a couple of people, but not as much as other clubs, say like St. George or the Titans. But with this match going to be into it, I really think that the Cowboys should win this game. It's going to be hard to see because we don't know what this Knights team is going to look like. Trey Mooney could be starting on the bench, but we don't know. But it's just, I do think a Cowboys outfit should be able to beat the Knights in Vegas. Though, there is maybe the slight chance the Knights cause a bit of the upset because as we look to the preseason challenge for the Cowboys, they're going into this game doing something they haven't done in 2026, and that's play an actual first grade side. So you don't know. You don't know what's going to be happening. But yeah, I do think the Cowboys should be able to get this done. Probably 13 plus. And now we go into the final match of the NRL Vegas as we have the Canterbury Bulldogs taking on the St. George Illawarra Dragons. Now the Bulldogs had a very decent year last year. They finished in the top 4, but unfortunately just couldn't get it done. They lost in the qualifying final to the Melbourne Storm and then would proceed to lose the semi-final to the Penrith Panthers, and just it was a bit of a lost season for them in all honesty, and that's just unfortunately how it's happened. But the Bulldogs definitely looking to try to get themselves back into very similar positioning and to go a little bit better. They have brought in Leo Thompson, but he's now injured for about 2 months unfortunately, so it'll be interesting to see how the Dogs do come. The Dragons, interesting questions around them. Obviously, they were in the bottom 4 last year. A lot of people have St. George as potential wooden spoon favourites this year, which I personally don't think, but that's just what I guess the overall sentiment is. Did get a win over the Knights in the first pre-season match, but then would lose the Charity Shield to South Sydney. So there's a lot of, you don't know. I think there's a lot of mystery towards this St. George team, which could be interesting to see how it does develop throughout of the rest of the season, especially when it comes to will Cole Flanagan's dad, Shane Flanagan, get sacked, which I don't know. If they do get the spoon, probably at the end of the year he might be gone, but who knows. But yeah, the Bulldogs team very much is stacked this year. It's just, I can't not pick them in this game. I understand I'm probably going to get flack for, oh, you're just picking the favourites. Respectfully blow me, because like, I mean, oh, so you want me to just not get my predictions right, do ya? It's, but yeah, I do think the Dogs should be able to get this win here. I feel like this one might be slightly closer, you just don't know. But yeah, I think the Dogs should still win handily, 13 plus. So yeah, obviously there is the other match going on. I'll quickly go into that before we end the video, which is of course the Super League match taking place, which is the Hull Kingston Rovers and the Leeds Rhinos. Obviously Hull KR looking for their first win of the Super League season, but they are coming off their World Club Challenge win over the Broncos, whilst Leeds have gotten their first win of the season with a very dominant performance over the York Knights. So going ahead, I think it will go. I'm going to be a coward and go the favourite again. I do think in a very close match, which probably will be the most entertaining game out of the 3 matches in Vegas, I think Hull Kingston Rovers will get the job done and get their first win of the Super League season. So yeah, so that is it. Those are the tips for the Vegas games. Who do you guys have? Let me know in the comments below. I've got a fantasy league if you want to join that. Links in the comments below. And yeah, thank you all very much for watching, and I'll see you all in the next video.